Hello and welcome everyone to the Equitymaster Investor Hour. My name is Sarit, and as usual, we have Rahul with us. Rahul, hi.
Hi, everyone. Delighted to be here on yet another episode of the Investor Hour with Sarit.
Yeah. And today we have a special guest. Special because not just because he's joining us for the first time, but
Mhm.
also because he's a very, very valuable member of the Equity Master team.
Yeah.
He is a ace trader with vast experience of
Hmm.
technical analysis and making lots of short-term trading profits, which is always exciting.
Yeah.
Uh, so without further ado, I'd like to introduce Brijesh Bhatia, Senior Research Analyst at Equitymaster. Brijesh, hi, welcome to the Investor.
Hi, Sarit. Glad to be having you on Investor Hour. And your introduction was, I guess, amazing. Starting with trading and on Investor Hours is like playing football
Good
or
point.
cricket. Yeah, so it's like amazing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I think Investor Hours people were focusing on what are the investments avenue one should look at. But
Uh-huh.
I guess I will be sharing on some of the trading part, strategies part,
Uh-huh.
and that's very much important because investing is not only buying and holding. It's
That's
a
right.
cup of tea of churning as well at some
Yeah.
point of
and just
Yeah.
to clarify, the person who has been on the Investor Hour most amount of times is Vijay Bhamwani, who's a
Yeah.
trader. So
time.
So this is
we,
as good
we
as a
yeah,
investor come trader hour.
yeah, we should.
Yeah,
Anyways,
yeah, yeah.
so just to give a little more color on Brijesh, Brijesh joined our team in November 2020, and we were so delighted to have him on board. Uh, Primarily because he's a great guy, and today after the investor hour, you'll realize it. He's always smiling, always talking sense, or always making a lot of sense, and very sharp. But I think he's also a great guy. I think it's just a pleasure to talk to him. Recently, he spoke at the Equity Master Conference, and he reached out to me. He says, Rahul, I'm going to be speaking on sector rotation. Now, sector rotation to a fundamental guy, I said, sure, please go ahead. and and I must say, it was very eye-opening even for me because uh, I have, if you see the news, you hear the word sector rotation, right? And you can be tempted to think that it's just something that's happening out there, but having Brijesh explain it and talk about it was an exercise in learning, and which was amazing. And so thank you for that presentation. I think it was very popular at the conference, and I think today what we're going to be talking about a bit is kind of an extension of that, Sarat.
Yes, that is true. We would like to dig in to into Brajesh's knowledge on not just trading but also trading systems and how retail traders can get their feet wet, how they can
Hmm.
make profits in a safe manner, and also there's a lot of confusion on how to go about trading in a profitable way. There are so many different sources out there which will give conflicting
Yeah,
information. It
yeah,
really helps to have someone like Brijesh, cut through everything and just tell everyone, this is what you should do and this is what
yeah,
you should not.
yeah,
And
and yeah.
one more thing, Brijesh has actually already started doing this with his series on our website,
Hmm.
which is called Trading for a Living.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So it's like has a lot of fascinating videos, and
Yeah.
he's just started literally from zero. Like if someone
Hmm.
doesn't know anything about trading, how to get started, what tools to use.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea to link that
Yeah.
below this podcast. So
Yeah.
anyone who's interested in trading, even if you have some experience or don't have any experience in trading, please do watch those videos.
Highly recommended.
Yeah.
So a couple of more things on Brijesh. I'm going to embarrass him, right? So I think the first ever video Equity Masters done on Bitcoin was done by Brijesh, and he posted that in January, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And where
Yeah.
he studied the
December, approx
technicals,
December.
and he said that it's going to head higher, if I'm not mistaken, right, Brijesh?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
right.
what a fantastic call that was. I don't understand Bitcoin. I don't claim to. In fact, if I can claim something, I think it doesn't make sense for all the feedback we'll get for this statement. But yeah, that was a fantastic call. So I highly recommend, along with the learner videos that Sarit mentioned, do watch Brijesh's YouTube videos. They are superb. Leading on to what Sarit said, what we're going to talk about today, I want to add a word to the mix, which I'm quite alien to. I'm familiar with it. I don't understand it. Uh, but that word is momentum. We've heard, so regular readers or like regular listeners of the Investor Hour have heard Rhythm Desai several episodes back talk about how momentum may have something in it, which is uh, he linked it to evolution, and he said that it could be a very viable form of investing. And so I think momentum is something that we want to talk about. We want to hear Brijesh's views, and we also want to talk about, related to that, the messiahs of momentum. You guys are following this messiahs of momentum thing. The messiahs of momentum now are Elon Musk. So there's the other part of momentum where whatever Elon Musk says just starts rallying. Anyways, with such a long introduction, let's get down to the brass tacks. So, Brijesh, Sarit, you're going to push the first question to Brijesh?
Yes, I think it's because Brijesh is on the investor hour for the first time.
Mhm.
It makes sense to have Brijesh talk and the two of us listen.
Yeah, sure.
Brijesh, could you start by telling us about your first trading experience? How was it like? When was it? Were you in college? What did you trade? Was it a stock?
Was
Did you
it
make
Games?
money?
Was it GameStop?
Did you make money? Lose money? What did you learn? It would be a good way to start.
Yeah.
Well, Sarit, I was in college days. So we used to have, my dad used to have a small shop at Kalbade, which is a well-known garment area into the Mumbai. So we, post college, I used to go there in the second half of my time. I guess way back in 2003, where I was in I guess SYJC or FYBMS. So I used to go to office, and it was I guess second half of the year, June, July. And as we have a retail shop, so generally the sales time are slightly on a slag. So people don't come on during the monsoon time to buy the clothes. And so we are now into the digital age where clicking on Amazon and buying it out. But at point of time, people used the walk-in were slightly on a lower case, and the next to my shop, there was a broker, so a sub brokership, and people used to come. And I guess that time Nifty was somewhere trailing around 1400, 1500, and it was at all time high.
Mm.
And the right side of my shop, there was a Reliance store. And that point of time,
So Vimal, the
Karlo
Vimal
Dunia
stock?
Mutti mein was like, no,
Was
no,
that
Reliance.
Reliance? Okay. Mhm.
Reliance. The mobile was launched and Karlo Dunia Mutti mein like
Ah, okay.
999 rupees.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah. So like I only used to know that equity market is there, and equity market is like a pot of gold in front of you and everyone wants to grab it.
Mhm.
But it's, I guess it's very much difficult to fill that pot of gold when you are making a trading out of or investing anything.
Mhm.
But I used to see people trading at 3:30 when markets closed, 3:30 or 4 at that point of time, and people are coming out with a big smile. And I am sitting right from 10 a.m. to 4:30, and none of my customer is there. So we used to say that boni bhi nahi hua, none of the customer is there in our shop, and these people are coming like smiling out and all those stuff, making money. So it got fascinated that, array, these people are making money. I'm sitting here for a whole day,
Mhm.
nothing is happening. And I only used to know Reliance. So my first trade was, I guess, 2004. My dad used to do small investing sort of 10, 15,000 plus minus here and there. So I asked him, and the next guy, which was now good friend of mine, the dealer used to do trading. He used to tell me, okay, yes, stock lene ka usme, but I only knew Reliance. So I just bet my first trade on Reliance. And my dad was strict against trading and all those stuff. So investing is fine. So I bought Reliance. I don't remember the exact price at that point of time. And that was my first trade, entered into the profit. Then it was like very fascinating, market shifting high. Then I thought I will do my career into trading and research and all those stuff. So I
How did your
ventured
dad
into the
how did your dad take the idea of you trading and not investing?
Uh, it was like initially he used to do, but I was not knowing that much because he used to invest 10,000, 5,000 at that point of time, slow and steady. And above us, there was a bank, Allahabad Bank, I don't remember the exact name. And people used to come suggest, "Ke ye FD kar lo, wo FD kar lo, these are the stocks you can invest and all those stuff." So my dad used to invest slow, small amounts. And then I got excited. Arey, no, this is big markets. I want to move out of my retail store. I don't told my dad that I want to move out of the retail store. This is big money over here.
Mhm.
So as you see, when you are opposite of a table, so gold pot is
Yeah.
like I want that.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
till the time you don't enter into the market, you don't realize that how difficult it is or what are the strategies you to make. So it was like for me also fascinating. And college times you have hunger to do it.
Mhm.
So it was like I will do that. And one of my friends, uncle used to work in LKP in commodities. So I told him, okay, I want to join post my colleges. So it was I was in my last year in 2006. I was doing my BMS, and in BMS finance we used to have a project. So
Mhm.
I told I want to do on finance and I'll do on commodity markets. So he said, okay, you can come 1 week to office. And when you sit in front of screen, so already I was have fascinating and sitting in front of screen, looking markets ups and downs. And at that point of time in 2006, gold was hardly trading around 7,000 sub, and still the volatility was there in gold. But yes, in front of screen, you see all those stuffs, and it's like, okay, I want to do that only. So that's my how my journey started into the commodities.
And you started more as a fundamental analyst, right? You were
No, I
no
started my career as a dealer,
dealer. Okay.
then
Mhm.
moved on to the technical side.
Okay. 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 Very, very interesting. And you from college you went straight into the dealing
Commodities.
room,
Yeah,
and then you self-trained yourself
yeah,
to become the man you've become today.
yeah.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Uh, Sarit, I've, in my one of my earlier conversations with Brijesh, he talks of all those terms which make no sense to me, but sound very intense. Uh, uh, Fibonacci and all these things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get that, right? So, Brijesh, why don't you simplify it for us and let's talk momentum? If we maybe just one vertical.
Yeah.
Uh, what's momentum and how? Uh, and from given that most of us are investors, is there any logic to momentum, or is it like throwing darts on the wall?
Throwing darts on the wall, but still you have the dart board on your in your front of you. So you have to throw the particular dart under the in the middle of that board.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, see, momentum is basically, I would term it as some take it as an intraday trading, some take it as a swing trading.
Mm-hmm.
For me, momentum or investing or trading is a business. So if you're taking it as a business, say, for example, if say you are a jeweler, okay,
Mm-hmm.
if gold prices are going higher, okay, it's a practically if in India, if there is a no festive season, people don't come to buy. So your for that gold jeweler, a momentum is halt. Our jewelry is as an inventory there in your stores. From a trading point of view, people come at markets are roaring higher. You are into euphoria phase, and every time you see 2007, 2008 markets were rallying higher before the fall, and euphoria was there. Everyone wants to come into the markets. Take a bet, 3% mila. I am going out. So it's like playing what the stocks are going on. But for me, I think you really need a strategist to come out.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, every people here want to make money, and if you look at the retail side, I guess 95% people have won their hands while trading into the intraday side. So
Mm-hmm.
for me, momentum is strike trading from 2 days, 3 days to 20 to 30 days a trade. So
Okay.
I'm not looking at an intraday. So intraday can be three ways you can do it. So either you do technically, where you're using technical parameters, either you do derivative side, where you are shorting the options, and when you think that markets are in your favor, you are shorting the options or buying the options. Third is the people who are doing investing, or the fundamental side. For them, playing the budget, playing the results So if you think that results are coming out to be a great on a positive side or a negative side, you take a bet against the
Mhm.
stocks. Also, there are some of the strategies where most of them do taking dividend play. So
Mhm.
there is many of them run the dividend, and company is about to announce the dividend, and X percentage is there. So people buy that stock where when the stock goes X dividend, they sell it out. So it's play pure up momentum play where you are holding a stock for 15, 20 days, 30 days till the dividend is out. From a technical side, I think there should be especially the retail side, just don't look at the markets is roaring higher and higher. You are taking the bet on XYZ stocks and it goes
Mhm.
and the problem with intraday traders is they go on to leveraging, and it's not the problem of
Mhm.
most of the brokers also market in some manner that you will get the XYZ leverage on the intraday
Yep.
side, zero
Mhm.
brokerage. So see, it's a business for them. For you, from a trader's point of view, you are losing end of the day money. So from intraday side, either you are a full-time trader, then you can sit in front of screen 8:30 to 3:30, uh, doing intraday
Mhm.
quick in and outs.
Mhm.
If you are doing a side business as in trading or investing, and you have a core business of your something else, you
Mhm.
are unable to give time to all those. So try to look at the momentum for there, because even 1% here and there, it doesn't matter. You, if you are looking for a 30 days trade where you are looking for 5%, 10% trade, so half a percent here
Mhm.
and there, it doesn't matter. But for an intraday trader, 1% here and there also matters. So
Mhm.
either in your front of screen, you can do that. So for me, momentum is playing a trade for 2 days to 20 days or probably 30 days till you are not looking at markets, and defining a
Mhm.
strategy is very much important. So I always say, when someone interviews me, that there are two type of knowledge you can get. So at your initial stage of career or your trading, look at the vertical, or even investing side, look at the vertical side of trading. Which means that there can be, say, if for a fundamental, someone plays on the management, someone plays on the PE, someone plays on the cash on sheet, how the company is growing day by day. But when you go to the vertical side of that business, is that business beating the its core competence? Is their company growing globally to their products? So similarly on technical side, so if you are doing some studies, so horizontally there can be candlesticks, there can be Akenashi, there can be Elliott
Correct.
waves, XYZ. But when you go vertical knowledge, depth of that study, you realize that there is lot more there into a candlestick. So there are hundreds of candlestick patterns you have to learn it. So candlesticks is just name because you learn on a YouTube or on a internet. But when you go deep into that, the vertical knowledge is very much important when it comes to trading part or any investing part or anything, practical aspects of your business as well. So till the time you don't know what is your cost of production, when you go deep into it, you can't sell it out. So
Mhm.
just beating your competitors doesn't make sense when your cost of capital or cost of goods is slightly higher than the selling price.
So,
So you have to do vertical
yeah.
knowledge.
So what you are telling us so far is, uh, firstly, your style of playing momentum, I guess, is 2 days to 20, 30 days,
Yeah,
which immediately differentiates you from a lot of people who are just punting intraday for 1 or 2%, which could be the pure speculative element of the market for various
yeah,
reasons. The other thing you're saying is that when you start off, you are vertical, uh, as a trader. You're focused on one idea,
yeah,
but over time, you have to go deeper into that idea. You gave the example of hundreds of kinds of candlesticks, and you have to go horizontal as well and look at the other moving parameters.
yeah,
Did I understand? Did I hear you right?
yeah, right.
So, what else goes into your mix so that you've defined the circumference for your trading system and strategy? What else goes in it? What makes momentum so exciting for Brijesh to focus on it?
Yeah. So my core of trading style is most of the reversal. So I here play on risk to reward. So if I'm betting on 3% trade or 4% of my risk on a trade, so I will just look at the reward that I'm at least getting 12, 15%.
Okay.
So
So,
the
a risk
yeah,
meaning the downside, the
yeah,
potential loss.
potential loss. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So either you can say a stop losses.
Stop loss. Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So if my core is that I am more focused on risk to reward first.
Mm-hmm.
Second is what are the type of risk per trade I am taking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if I am investing say 100,000, and I'm just betting 2% on that. So I am on a safer side. Risk per trade is safer for me because
Mhm,
it's a general say into a risk management or position sizing that don't bet more than 1% of your capital on a trade.
mhm, mhm,
But sometimes it happens that for a retail, so this generally says goes when you are trading into crores. But when a retail investors come into the market with say 1 lakh rupees, so for them 1% is like 1,000. The market fluctuates in a quicker manner. So I just look at least 2.5% max side is okay.
mhm,
So risk per trade is the key when it comes to trading for me. Second part. Third is position sizing. So I just divide position sizing into that the my capital divides into 10 trades first. So if I'm starting with 1 lakh rupees, I will divide into 10 trades. So I will invest 10,000 per trade
okay.
and I'll bet 2% on that. So
Mhm,
it's 10,000, 2% is I'm just betting 200 rupees on that risk. So overall, if I just look at the capital size, I'm betting 2% on my capital.
mhm,
So here the risk management plays. Even if I go 20 times wrong, still I'm safer over here. So I have still have a capital to come back into the markets. So people don't realize that the risk management plays a key role. Even if you have a defined strategy in place, even if you are doing algos, if you are doing a fixed set of standard entry and exits, but if you don't manage risk parameters, you don't manage position sizing, you don't manage risk reward size, that system is of no use.
mhm,
So if I am commuting right from Bandra to Churchgate, if I am missing one train, I have second train.
mhm.
But your ticket is valid till only 1 hour. So if you don't travel in that 1 hour, so 1 hour is your risk parameters.
Got it.
If
Yeah.
we are not traveling in 1 hour, we are eligible to play the fine.
Mhm,
So you have trades, n number of trades coming in and going, but the risk parameters plays a key important role for me. If the trade is not into my risk parameters, I am happy to leave that trade.
okay. So you've told us about your risk parameters. You've told us about the broad system. Uh, you're not going to tell us your secrets. I understand that. You may be beating around the bush over there. But
Yeah.
assuming someone was following your system, right? What are the kind of returns that are possible given this risk control? Because I assume, like you said, it's a risk return paradigm. So
Yeah.
if you're controlling your risk, then your returns also will be capped, I guess. So what do you aim for, and what do you generally manage to sort of generate?
Uh, so I would say the risk is capped for me, but the reward is not capped for me. So
Okay.
basically, my style of trading is more of reversal. So as you said at the start of the video, that Fibonacci. So I am doing
My
the
favorite word is back. I have no clue
so
what it is. I'm going to act intelligent and keep nodding now.
yeah, later on I'll explain it to you in detail. Okay, so I am doing the study which is known as harmonic, and I guess in 2008, 2009, none of the person in India used to do that, and I used to post on that harmonic charts on Twitter, and people were fascinated because it used various Fibonacci numbers, and it has been calculated as a reversal sign. So I'm a big follower of Paul Tudor Jones, so
Sorry,
a big hedge.
Paul Tudor Jones. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
the moving average guy, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
Sarit is a big fan of Paul Tudor Jones. Sarit?
Not a fan per se, but he's definitely very, very well known,
Yeah.
and he's one of the best hedge fund managers in the world.
Yeah.
Very rich guy, very successful.
Yeah.
Uh,
Sir, you told me once the 200 DMA guy, right?
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He
I
made
know
that
some.
popular. Yeah,
He made that popular.
yeah,
Interesting. Okay. Yeah,
yeah.
Brijesh.
So why I used to he was like mentor for me, like because he used the reversal technique,
Mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm,
I read his all books, and one his two lines are like close to my heart. First is the meat is only top between the top and bottom. So when you are entering into the top as a short, entering into the bottom as a long, it's the meat is whole because the markets rallies and the late entrants get the less number of meats.
okay.
Second is he always says save your s means save your capitals.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Risk management is key. Even if you are riding a trade, try to manage your risk. Try to trail your profits at higher levels when you're into a trade.
mm-hmm,
So when I used to do harmonics, being a key reversal technique, people like I'm shorting at the top, I am buying at the bottom, and people like, hey, this guy is mad, कुछ भी बोलता है. And I have heard comments from my ex bosses as well. Okay, and I remember in 2011, I guess I don't. Yeah, 2011. Yeah, I was in commodities and I wrote a report on short silver at 72,800. I
Mhm.
remember the price. High was it went to around 73,600, 73,800 something. And people on the street like silver will be go 1 lakh.
I remember.
Everything will
Yeah.
gold will go to X number of price. And again on the similar lines, I wrote the report and like my boss next day on the floor, are you sure this will go? Yeah, I'm sure. Okay, let's do. And that point of time, there was a mini contract as well, and still there are mini contracts into
Yeah.
the silver. So he said, okay, let's start shorting on your conviction. I said, okay, let's start. So he told short mini, and he's one of the greatest trader. I know him for years, and we used to do in a prop, the company props account. So I thought, why you're shorting mini? Let's go on to the mega one. So okay, let's try one, and he is like he will try your conviction looking at the trades which you are giving.
Mhm.
So he's not worried about profit and losses, but he will look at the conviction you have. I said, let's go for the larger one and not the shorter one.
Mhm.
Next day, silver 73,500 is coming. Are you still sure? I'm okay, sure. We can add more if you want. And in, I guess, 1 or 2 weeks, silver was right to 43,000. But still,
Wow.
I gave a target of around 60,000. So 20, 18 to 20%. I was not expecting that big to come out. But
Mhm.
yes, being a reversal, people disagree you many a times.
Mhm.
And that's the key. And even, I guess I have done a show 2019 start with Bloomberg Quint, and we might find a video on YouTube. At that point, I was told that Bank Nifty will go down. And the anchor was like, are you sure? He was asking me repeatedly.
So
Are you sure?
scenarios repeating again, huh?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So,
It
and
sounds
it was a
sounds
new
similar.
year,
Yeah,
and market was dull. So,
yeah.
yeah, you were
Sounds a
saying
little
something?
similar to the Bitcoin video. I'm like, are you sure it's going to go up? He said, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I
so,
wish I had bought the Bitcoin then. It was
yeah,
probably what 30,000 then, right?
yeah, it was
Yeah,
around
I think so.
27,
Yeah.
20, 26,
27.
27,000. Yeah,
I
it's,
missed it. Yeah,
yeah, it's 50,000 now.
yeah.
So,
So later in the
like,
podcast, we should have some of those "Are you sure?" moments when we
yeah, yeah,
talk
we should.
bit about.
So that's a biggest drawback of trading onto the reversal when you're trading against the crowd and people are you sure? So staying onto that conviction because hundreds of them are asking you, are you sure? Are you sure? So staying onto that, and when you go wrong, that 100 people come, अरे I बोला था तेरे को
Bola
नहीं
tha.
चलेगा. So it
How
happens.
do you how do you prepare for that, Brijesh? Because uh, as an investor, it's your money on the line,
Yeah.
and you're taking a big risk going against the market. But as an analyst giving a call, so how do you like prepare for it? How do you stay calm in moments like these, which could be high pressure?
Well, see, at initial stage of my career, I used to think that, अरे यार नहीं चलेगा तो क्या होएगा? But as a time I'm doing this last for more than a decade, the same study. So the conviction gets slightly higher now.
Okay.
So when people are asking me, okay, are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. Because the conviction that after a decade of studies, when you are into the market, trading it out, when to trade, when not to trade is also. So might find that the XYZ company is trading at lower P, but
Mhm,
which company to bet on because you are doing investing for last 20-25 years. So
mhm,
similarly there are some technical parameters including the pattern which helps us in convincing that okay, this pattern will work, this pattern will not work. So there are various time series as well, timing the market helps out at that point of time.
yeah.
So now over the years the conviction has built so much that
Yeah,
I can
10
bet
years.
on it, okay, this will work.
10
And the
years is.
best part of the reversal is like I am
Mhm,
playing with a smaller stop losses. So I've gone 73,000 short silver, even though I was playing for 13,000 points onto the silver, but my stop loss was suddenly 2,500. So 2,500 bet over 13,000, my risk is over smaller over here. So I'm playing a big reward. So even if my hitting a stop loss is hardly smaller range than the rewards. So even if I go 3 times wrong and I'm making big money on the fourth trade, at the end of the month I'm making money.
interesting. Sarit.
That is actually a point of discussion which we should have, as in the stop losses that Brijesh uses.
Hmm.
Uh, Many retail traders avoid that. They just assume that the stock will keep going up, or if the stock falls, they think just because they bought it, They want to
Mhm.
hold on, and maybe the stock will go up. But that is not how professionals do it. They have a very clear cut system of getting in, when to get out, when not to get out. So, Brijesh, could you talk a little bit about that? How does your stop loss actually work? I mean, if you buy a stock at, let's say, 100 and it goes to 95 like on the same day, will you sell? And what if the stock goes, say, to 120? Then what happens to that stop loss? Will it still be at 95, or will you change it?
Mhm.
Uh, yes, sir. So see, most of the retailer, what they do is they're buying a stock. So there is a well-known term, "घर जमाई बना लिया," which means that the stock is out of your favor. You put it in your demat account, hold it till the prices are coming. But remember that by the time you are holding into your demat account, you are losing various opportunities on that same money,
Yeah.
because XYZ stocks are going higher or probably might will be
Mhm.
going. So for me, if my stop loss is triggered, as I said, I follow strict risk management. If I am betting 2% of capital, if it is wiped off, I'll exit from the trade. See, markets are there 220 days a year. Okay, so every day there is an opportunity.
Mhm.
Every day there might be a new stock under my scanner, under my system, which might come out. But if I am not exiting my stop loss and staying on that hope कि मेरा भाव आएगा, my price will come, I am losing another 219 days of my trading career.
Mhm. Mhm.
That the opportunities are missing. So for me, I'll exit it out on that trade. And if the stock is in my favor, as you said, 100 to 120, what I will do, I'll trail my stop losses to higher level, and I have a different system to that. So which I generally use on Hekenashi. I and Rahul have spoke many times, but it's been all time it's bouncer for Rahul. So I use that trailing system every time. If it's in favor, I just trail my stop losses with the prices going higher
Yeah.
and higher into my favor. And if the stop losses are in, still I'm making the money. So for me, trailing system is the best I use. And I always tell everyone, don't stay in a hope. If the stock is out of your favor, out of your defined stop losses, whatever you have thought before entering the trade, exit it out.
Yeah.
And most of the retail, what happened, like they are herd mentalities. If someone is saying कि ये stock लेना है, they buy it out, keep in that portfolio. And what
Mhm.
happened with like 2008, when market people were buying like anything,
Mhm.
and in the end of the day, when market started falling, they kept in that portfolio. So I guess 2013 14, their prices got the buying prices were there in 2013 14. So last, for next 2 3 years, they were stocks were lying into that portfolio, shifting back to their core businesses, moving out of the market. Again, markets roaring higher, they
Mhm.
are like, "Arey, I got my stock prices." They will sell that stock XYZ price, come back into the market, buy another stock. And this story generally repeats every bull market. So people has to realize, if I'm moving out of that, for a simple example, if you're doing a core business of a, say, a copper scrap or metal scrap,
Mhm.
and if that scrap is staying into your inventory, it will be rust. So
Yeah. It'll
the
rot.
price will automatically fall when you are going to sell that.
Mhm.
So you have to keep in mind that if you are keeping the stock over a longer time, you are losing an opportunity or losing an interest amount as well.
Yeah, yeah. I think, Sarit, in our fundamental language, it's like if you get stuck in a value trap,
Yeah, yeah,
it's
that's
better
right.
to exit than to keep holding it. Yeah, yeah. So
Even if,
trailing stop losses, that's a concept I've heard of, and it's a very interesting concept, right? Uh, I know, without sort of giving it away, that's not the purpose of the call. I know that Brijesh is testing a system for us, and I can see some of those emails from him indicating that, move the stop loss higher, and I think that's what he means, that the stop loss is trailing a rising stock price. Yeah, so I'm getting familiar, Brijesh. I'll get there, and
Yeah, yeah,
and a few months from now, I'll use those same terms that you're using.
yeah, sure. We'll be happy to hear that.
yeah. So, Bridget, how is uh, uh, this scenario working out for you? Testing out various stocks. How's it going?
It is going amazing, Sarit. So we are building a portfolio of some stocks, testing it out, and the results have been fantastic. I would say into the current point of markets.
Brilliant.
So the idea over is we playing long and short both. So we are not checking onto the long in, because generally trading is buying and selling both. So on the short side, you short the stock buy at the lower level. So from a trading point of view, you can do both the sides. So we are
Mm,
testing on the buying and selling
yeah,
both. So there are some testing stocks where we have done long and short both.
yeah. I'm looking at that very closely with Brijesh. Not the research, the results.
Yeah.
Just to clarify. Uh, and yeah, and it's very, very fascinating. It's very fascinating, and I've actually had conversations with Brijesh trying to understand what goes behind that. And I'll come back to the point he said earlier. It's vertical and horizontal. Uh, as you get more experience, you are not looking at the candlestick. Not that he used the word candlestick then. You've gone very deep to the point where you become a doctor of a subject, right? Where
Absolutely.
you can actually understand the philosophy of the subject. He's at that level. And he's also looking broad. So he's focused on stocks, he's focused on indices, but he's also looking at everything else that's moving, which is going into his system. Uh, and that's why you see him doing videos on Bitcoin, gold, silver. He talks to us about everything, and that's just a perfect example of the vertical horizontal that Brijesh spoke about. But that for another time. We can't share more about that right now, Sarit.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
I can tell you that it is super exciting what I'm seeing. We are 3 months into that, by the way, already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're already 3 months into that and going very strong. So exciting. Yeah.
We
Brijesh,
have started.
yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
sorry,
go ahead, go ahead.
sorry, Brijesh, you're
Yeah,
saying
so
something.
we have started another product testing on some of the well-known instrument as well.
Yeah,
So sooner the results will be out.
yeah,
So we'll
yeah.
be sharing. So the product testing is going on there as well.
Yeah, yeah. That this the second idea that you've started building a track record for
Yeah,
yesterday or day before,
yeah, day before
uh,
yesterday.
and that also I'm very excited with what I'm seeing out there. I think I'm going to circle back to another point which I mentioned, Sarit, the messiahs of momentum, which is actually used as in a negative connotation. That here, Brijesh is is implementing a system and doing something. And in this whole phase, think about it. Markets are strong in December. They were weak in Jan. They're strong in Feb. So Brijesh is able to play both the sides. On the other hand, if you look at the messiahs of momentum, the classic example is GameStop, right? And it went one way from what was it, from 40, 50 to 350? What is the number? I don't even remember.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it got to 400 or something.
Yeah, it was like crazy one way move, and then poof,
Yeah,
it
back
was
down.
just, yeah. So it's like truly punting. So Brijesh, how did you see this whole thing play out? And at any point in time, did you do your numbers on GameStop or something and say it makes sense or doesn't make sense?
so see, that was the one-off, and I generally my way of trading is that I don't even look at the stocks which are in
News.
trending in
Mm.
the news, or the stock which have corporate action, like some of the real estate company having the court case going on, all the stuff. So
Uh-huh.
land cases. So I just try to avoid such kind of stuff, because in India, we have, even if you look at the future side, you have around 146 stocks. If you want to cash, you have around more than 2000 stocks to trade. Then why do you want to focus on that stock which is into the momentum? So as of now, you say Elon Musk is the momentum mover. During the Trump era, we have seen all 5 years of Trump momentum going on.
The
So
ultimate momentum
yeah,
player,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Donald
yeah,
Trump.
yeah. Yeah, so he tweets and markets are positive or negative.
Yeah.
So I try to avoid such kind of scripts or such kind of instruments. Better that
Uh-huh.
there are n number of those people who are not following. There is an opportunity to make money over there.
Yeah. But like how you did the charts on Bitcoin, had you done on
Yeah,
any of these other stocks just to look at it out of
yeah,
interest?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So see, the biggest advantage of being a technical analyst is that script doesn't matter. The chart matters to you. So be it the bond yield, be it the currency, be it the stocks, indices, anything. So I, as the instrument which we are running a systems, the same systems which I used to do in the Bitcoin, and it gave me an amazing result.
Yeah. How does Bitcoin look now to you?
I think still there is an upside.
Oh, really?
2000,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
2021 will be Bitcoin's year, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember you telling me this in Jan
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
2021 is a year of the Bitcoin.
Yeah,
Oh, wow. You're still bullish, huh? The
very
charts
bullish.
are still
Yeah,
telling you be bullish.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow. And
The
what
wars
about
will
gold?
continue.
A lot of people are saying that money is moving from gold to Bitcoin. Are you seeing like the charts play out in a similar way?
I slightly differ on that. I don't think that see gold has its own value. Bitcoin has its own value. So as you said, the GameStop went to $400, then boom.
Yeah,
So one day Bitcoin will also move. And remember 2018, I guess, yes, 17, 18, Bitcoin was like flavor of the markets.
20,000. Yeah.
2018 to 2020 it did nothing,
Hmm.
and we saw it's been lost its momentum. Back in 2020, 2021, it's been raising like anything. So it's just a time of matter, but I think still think that gold has a better value over the Bitcoin, and
Hmm.
probably I think 1700, 1650, gold might find its bottom and look for another leg of rally.
Hmm.
Probably $2,200 is the which I'm eyeing on gold probably in 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, you think it can do $2,200?
Yes,
So
yes.
$2,200 from a current price is up about 20%,
30%.
30% from
Yeah,
current levels.
yeah, it's
But
around
your
trading
buy
around
level,
1700.
but you're looking for a lower buy level. That's
Yeah,
what you're
so
saying.
probably 1650,
Yeah,
1700, so another
yeah.
$100.
Do you also do very long-term charts, or it doesn't make sense beyond a point?
No, I do long term charts as well. See, investing can be done on charts as well. So
Okay.
there is one study, I don't know you have about it, the Wyckoff theory. So it's been the book is written by Richard Wyckoff, WYCK, O-double-F.
Yeah.
So basically, the idea was he did a theory on accumulation and distribution, and he was the one of the well-known Wall Street magazine writer, 1800
Hmm.
something. I don't
Okay.
remember the exact year. So, and we used to have Bhav copy like in India. Every weekly closing used to come. Then we started copy sort of, and he used to write articles. So his idea was like the large players are buying, investors are buying, big players are buying, hedge funds are buying, banks are buying, but retail doesn't know okay, when to enter the stock, because at that point of time the accumulation the volumes at that point of time are not that great. That accumulation used to take 1 years, 2 years, 3 years time. So when a big person is buying 10% stake, either he has to go to the promoter or he has to buy the open market. So when he buys from the open market, so it takes time to accumulate. So retailers don't know when to accumulate there. So his theory was for retailers, when the big players accumulate, at that point of time you have taken entry. So I guess in 2016 I have identified Jubilant Food on the same theory. It was trading at around 1400, then went on to the uh, bonus or something. It was split to half, and then it's back to 3000 levels. So I guess it was 750 split price of Jubilant, and the same theory I gone along on that Jubilant football. So they play this theory plays very good on the long term side.
Yeah. So gold, very long-term view. What's your very long-term view on gold?
So very long term view, probably I guess for next 2028, I think gold can be $3,000. Probably ups and downs might go on,
Yeah.
but I think 2,900 to $3,000 can be. But I think silver is the one still has a big potential on, and we might see crossing 1 lakh in Indian markets probably in 1 year's time.
Oh, is that strong a chart, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry,
actually, even
I thought you'd left to buy silver.
actually even Vijay is extremely bullish on silver.
Yeah,
So
Vijay is extremely bullish.
there was a conversation we had. I don't remember when exactly, but Vijay said, gold could taper off a little bit in the short term. But then obviously we asked him about silver as well, and he said no. Silver, the chart is strong. There's a lot of buying. The big guys are refusing to sell silver.
Yeah.
It's going to go up even more.
Yeah. And it's ironical because literally during the pandemic, silver was selling at a discount in Zaveri Bazaar,
Yeah,
but at like a
Yes.
10% discount to the market price. That was
market
the time
price
to
was
buy.
already down, and they were
Yeah.
selling it even
Yeah.
even.
And further 10% discount. Yeah. Well, okay. So that's gold and silver and Bitcoin, the
We should talk
2021.
about stocks now. Yeah,
We should talk about stocks. We have to be careful about
yeah.
stocks.
So let's start with the Nifty then. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Let's talk index.
Brijesh, what's your view on the index?
Uh, Stock on index view, I think markets might cool down before a next leg of rally. So I'm expecting a short-term cool down into the markets towards probably 14,000, 13,000, depending the weekly momentum moves. I have clearly defined the charts as well that markets are over stretch as of now, trending into the
Mm-hmm.
overbought. So any pullback, yes, could be a good journey for I guess till June. Probably I'm seeing markets to see a positive trajectory around 17,000, 16,800. So still a leg there. So a dip on buy on dip strategy could be the better at Canada because most of the stocks. And I think better than looking onto the Nifty. In the recent video, I covered small caps. So
Small
I think
caps,
small
yeah.
cap is a
Yeah.
better bet, better place into the next leg of rally. And generally, small caps rally in the last leg of the momentum. Even if you look at the 2007, 8, 2014, generally the small cap are the late to entry. And at this point of time, small caps are breaking out like anything. So I think their focus should be on second leg of mid caps to small caps, not to the micro cap. I'm looking at because I don't follow the micro cap stocks.
Yeah.
Frankly,
Yeah.
I don't know the name of the stocks as well. So
Mhm.
still small cap, I am there. Micro caps, I don't know the name as well.
So you're saying for the Nifty near terms tricky, long term still good,
Yes,
and in any case you're saying the small caps still have zing left in them.
yes,
That's after such a big rally, huh?
yes.
Wow. What about the Nasdaq? What about the FANG stocks? Do you track any of those?
Not really FANG stocks, but Nasdaq, I think the short-term top is there in place. Till 14,000, 14,300 is not taken out. I think there is a cool down into the Nasdaq as well because
Yeah.
generally 50% IT, the
Mm-hmm.
maximum which they hold is. So I think IT is most probably done.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you look at the Apple chart, I think there is some of the cooling now placed onto the Apple as well as the Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So Facebook, we have recently seen the WhatsApp security fiasco which happened.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So Facebook was down, which was the first leg of trigger. And even if you look at the most of the time, Nasdaq is the one which takes down the Dow Jones. So I
Mm-hmm.
think Nasdaq can see probably 10% downtick over here.
Oh, interesting. Sarit, what else do you want to ask Brijesh? Uh,
Uh, can we talk like Brajesh's favorite themes in this market?
yeah, that's a great point.
As in like, are there any sectors or any positional plays or anything like that
Top top
that
three themes
yeah,
of 2021, Brijesh.
yeah. What
Uh,
excites you the most?
And we'll also book time for January 22 to review those themes.
yeah, review is always better.
Yeah.
For 2021, as I said, Bitcoin is the one I think
Right, right.
could be the year of Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
Second, I think still markets are there, and I should focus on mid cap and small cap rather than large cap. Again, large caps have been done. Uh, Third is the metal space. I think is a big for 2021 because we haven't seen metals trading like anything. So if you want to play equity, metal space is the where you can look for metal stocks to from a 1 year's point of view. But if you want to play metals into the commodity space, I think lead and zinc are the well placed to look for another leg of lead.
So metals, you saying, can be played both ways.
Yes.
You can go, and the way to play the hard asset is to go to the commodity exchange and buy a futures or whatever it
Yeah,
is, right?
futures. Yeah.
Interesting. Uh,
You were bullish on energy stocks as well, right, Brijesh? You had done a video on that.
Yeah. So I guess it was on start of the Feb, I guess I did when the energy index was trading at around 17,200, 17,300. So at that point of time, as we clearly showed on chart that sector rotations is happening, we might see money going into the, I guess it was post budget when the second week of the budget and where we pre-budget we initiated that the bankings might take a lead and we have seen banks and financials taking a huge uptick. And then followed by we said that energy will fuel the markets now and we have seen energy I guess it's trading at around 18,700 index and all the energy stocks have seen a huge uptick. So
mhm.
energy is still I think the financing company REC PFC or probably OMCs might see an uptick from current level as well.
So
Interesting.
So
these are
that's purely a short term play.
these are purely short term. Okay,
Yeah.
Mhm.
okay.
Okay. So I think we should go into the last leg of the questions that
Yeah.
we generally ask our guests.
This
Uh,
is mostly in terms of
this
getting
is
British to
this is going
expand
to
on
be a
his
quiz
knowledge.
on fundamental terms, since we want to level the field, and we're
Yes.
going to be asking you tough questions like, "What's a value trap?" No, no,
Yeah.
joke. Sorry, over to you.
Yeah. So we would first like Brijesh to like elaborate on his learnings. Like I'm sure you have read like countless books and blogs and expanded on your knowledge a lot. Could you share some of the best resources for our viewers and listeners? And what are the best books that a trader should read while starting out? Or if he already has some knowledge, then should he read some other books, blogs? What would you recommend?
See, I'm not a good book lover, but I try to read from of the market's point of view, or the value, the knowledge which I can gain from the market side or my technical side. So, for every traders, I would suggest one book, Market Wizard. You must read that book. That book collages the various traders across the world and what are the strategies, what have they have done. So one should read that book. So there are two more three how to trade into the stocks by Jesse Livermore is the one book you can read it out. Market Wizard, as I said, Jack Swagger. So there are 2 to 3 edition of that. If you are doing a trend following, so there is a trend following book by Michael Cowell. So these are the 2 3 books, and do not forget my favorite Paul Tudor Jones. So there
Yeah.
are so there are some of the books he which he has written. So do read that about him. And if you want to do a disciplined trading, I would suggest one book, Trading Habits. It was by, I guess, Steve Burns. So read that book because he has covered, I guess, 35, 38 some trading habits one should follow regularly basis. So that's being an eye opener for me when it comes to disciplinary trading. So generally, you don't buy XYZ stock which is trending out. When it's being a disciplinary, the systems which give you buy, you enter into a long or short. So that book is very much important. And those who want to read on harmonics, the my studies which are there. So that's a book on Scott Carney. There are 2 edition of it. So this kind of books I read generally on the market side.
Great.
Very nice.
Thank you for sharing those recommendations,
Yeah.
Brijesh.
There's quite a detailed
Yeah.
book
Yeah,
recommendation actually. I think
yeah.
Brijesh has shared more number of books than anyone else on
Anyone?
the
Oh, is
on
it?
the investor.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is the
yeah,
highest number of recommendation.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Which is
so
Okay.
I
good.
thought I was just focusing on
Keep our
market side.
readers busy, our listeners
Yeah,
busy till the
definitely.
next episode.
Yeah.
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 Brijesh, any specific tips or gyan, for lack of better word, that you would like to give any inexperienced traders or investors who are just getting their feet wet in trading? Are there some clear rules that they should follow?
Uh, Clear rules. What I follow is basically 3 parts. First, a trading system, or if you are investors, try to use there are various websites which give you. I guess Screener is the one website which give you the stocks which you want to select as per your parameters. So first, trading system or investing systems, there should be a strict rule to it, whether it is buy or sell. Second is risk reward, as I said. So my core is I play on risk reward, taking markets when the
Mm-hmm.
risk is under my control.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want that someone else is controlling my risk. So
Mm-hmm.
that plays a key important role. So as I said, if there is a court case going on and I'm long onto that, what happens with the court? This case goes in not goes into the favor of the
Mm-hmm.
company. So the risk is not under my control if the stocks open 10% lower tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So I love to play where the risk is under my control, and the positioning or the portfolio, the amount of you invest into the market. So all 3 4 stuffs, if you play discipline, I think market is all yours.
That makes sense. Uh,
That's like a good deep wisdom that
yeah.
Brijesh has gained over so many years. He's just put it out there within a few lines.
Yeah.
That's good for our
Yeah,
readers.
it's hard learned one and a
Yeah.
half decade of
Yeah.
trading.
And I think this leads to a very critical question, Brijesh, is who've been the people you've admired in this journey? Uh, as a, from personally, professionally, who you've looked up to, who've shown you a value system that you've been able to sort of absorb.
My dad is my hero, as I say. Everyone thinks that because I have seen him struggling for so long years. We had a shop, so we every day I stay at 60 kilometers away. So from that shop, so every day traveling morning to night, I know what he has done, gone through, and so he is my hero. So I we so sitting in the office, sitting in the shop when we both used to there. So we discuss. I always discuss with him. What if we could do something else? So his idea was, see, for long years he has done the salesmanship into the garment industry. So his idea was that I didn't have money to study further. So our house situation was that he has to do, and being a elder into the family, it his responsibility. So he used to always tell me, do what you can. It's not to say that we should sit in a shop and do all the stuff. So it has really encouraged me that I am open to what I'm doing it. And even he always, my brother used to there. So these two has always helped me in every aspect of my life. And when I started my trading career, so always there and helping hands are there. So there were two guys when I used to work at UTI. So Tejas Shah and Chirag Sheth. So they are still into connected. So they are, one is working in institution and one is working for the commodity company into the London. So they used to start it, and I used to sit into the evening shift of the commodity, the dealer. They helped me learning all the technical stuffs, and they really helped me as an helping hand, and still admire them. Whenever we meet, I always tell them, okay, you were the two guys who have helped me where I am over here. So these two are guys that I admire every time.
That's a very nice answer actually. Uh, yeah, very nice answer.
Yeah,
Sir?
it's more than Paul Tudor Jones. I think
Yeah.
Brajesh's real heroes are in real life. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's so critical because the people who help you in your founding years probably have a bigger impact on you than the people who finesse what you've learned then, right? Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah, that, for me it's great. Yeah. Uh, to the final question, and I think Sarit's screen is frozen, so I will do the needful and ask you the final question. Uh, so Brijesh, this is a question we ask everyone, all our guests. So, what is the one truth that you strongly believe in and people don't agree with you on?
Simple to answer, Rahul. For so long years, I have been facing this being a reversal trader. The truth is, I would say the conviction when it comes to your trading idea or investing idea, anything. So when you are convinced with your systems, doesn't matter. There are 10 against you, 100 against you, or thousands against you. So stay conviction. The conviction can build up staying in front of them. So if you are convinced with your system or your style of trading, your style of working, so it doesn't matter how it's a hard truth that you have to be confidence on yourself.
Yeah, I like that answer a lot, and I'm saying that again and again because it's just a brilliant discussion with Brijesh. So, Sarit, to the question of what is the one truth you believe in and no one
Yeah.
agrees you on, Brijesh's first point was I'm a reversal guy. Most people don't agree with me all the time.
Yeah. I kind of thought that Brijesh would say that, but yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, I
it's
think he
come
makes
to think
money
of
by disagreeing with people.
yeah, come to think of it, we asked the wrong question, right?
Yeah,
To a reversal guy.
yeah.
How can
So,
anyone agree with
so,
you?
so we should ask him, what people agree with him. Yeah,
Yeah, that'll be yeah,
yeah.
that
Uh,
becomes a problem. Yeah.
So, Brijesh,
but you stick to your investors
yeah,
questionnaire.
do you have like a mainstream view, Brijesh? Like everyone, you're following what everyone else is doing right now.
Yeah,
I never do that. As I said, I
he's a
don't even
reversal guy.
select that stock as well.
He's a
Yeah,
reversal guy. He walks away. GameStop, I'm not interested. Everyone is. I'm not.
Not interested.
Anyways, I think with that, we wind down this brilliant edition of the Investor Hour.
yeah.
Brijesh, thank you very much for taking time out. And I think it's been fantastic. And I pledge to start becoming familiar with some of those terms that you use very often. so we can have an even more in-depth conversation. But that's me. Sarit, I'm sure, understands a lot of that, and
I
he's
understand partially, so
there. You go.
yeah,
Yeah.
He's ahead.
I
So
need
by the time
to.
we start working into the office, you guys might be familiar with it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
hope so.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And we are so, we've not met face to
Yeah,
face
yeah,
because of the lockdown. Hopefully, in a few months from now, we'll be face to face,
yeah,
and when we are probably cutting the cake for the 25th anniversary of Equity Master
that's right.
great.
in April. Maybe we'll be in office. I don't know. Time will tell. But looking forward to it. Great. Thank you very much once again.
It
Sarit,
was my
last
pleasure.
word to you.
Thank you, Brijesh, for joining us. This I hope this is the first of many investor hours that we do with you, and you shared a lot of your personal knowledge and your journey, and shared tips with our viewers. I hope we can like do more of this with you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot,
It was
Brijesh.
my pleasure. Thanks, Rahul. Thanks, Sarit.
Thank you.
Thank you.